So now I'm going to show you a video walkthrough of how to chip time an event using this system. The same thing as with the pull tagged event, you will have an assistant to type in new names. The only other thing that you will have to do and have them do is put the timing chip behind each bib. So just make sure that the timing chip matches the bib number. So if you have bib 10, make sure timing chip number 10 goes to the back of it. They're easy to apply. That's the only thing about those, is that the numbers need to match. So now I'm going to pull out my phone and kind of quickly show you how to set up the decoder, and then I'm going to get back here on the laptop and show you how to set up the chip timing system. So just give me a second. So this is the decoder, is what we call it, that connects to the timing mask that hopefully you all have seen be set up. All I did to put it on was I hit the power button, and you just got to give it a few seconds to let it load up. So just an overview, cable 1 goes to the mat closest to the box and goes in this spot. Cable 2 is the second closest mat, and it goes here, and so on, 3 and 4. Up at the top is the little screen that you will see. I do not have anything connected to this now because it is in my house, but what I always do is a few minutes ahead of the event is I put it on. I connect the mats to the box as soon as I can, and then I put on the box itself about 15-20 minutes until the event begins. And that just gives it time to load and locate signal. And then you want to wait on this screen to pop up. It's going to say GPS locked, adjust time to GPS, and you want to do that. This is an error message because I do not have anything connected to it. But now that I have adjusted it to GPS time, it's going to pretty much be the same thing as a Garmin watch. As you can see, it's about 3:49, 38, 39, which is accurate. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as a watch because the times are going to be based off of this. You just want to manually adjust it as soon as you can, because if you happen to do that in the middle of a race and it changed the time by like a minute, then all the times would be messed up. But anyway, this is a box. This is the decoder box that connects the mats. So to give you just a simple walkthrough of this, the only thing that you need to do with this is ahead of the event, you want to hit this button, and you want to hit markers and files. To do that, you want to hit this little circle. You want to go to gunshot, and then you will see a screen that says last gunshot, new, and exit. This is kind of the same thing as that time tech machine that I just showed you. Somebody needs to hit new when the race begins. So I have somebody on this machine, and all you have to do is hit this button when the race begins. So race countdown 3, 2, 1, boom. And you will see last gunshot was now at 15:50:58.154. You will want to write that down, and I will show you now how to type that in to the computer. But I'm also going to now show you how to manually connect the box to the computer. You should have been able to have that walked through when you set up the mats, but if you didn't, you will have a long Ethernet cable. So that's just one end to, and both ends are the same. You just want to connect it to the box. If it does not have the black thing to it, it'll manually go up here into one of these. It doesn't matter which two it is, but you can just manually connect this end to either one of those if you don't get the box with these with that cable in it. And then all you want to do is take the second end, and you want to manually connect it into the computer. Give me 1 second. Just like so. So that's going to manually add it in. So now I'm going to get you back on the laptop. So now once you have the decoder connected to your laptop, you want to go back to the actual timing system itself. you want to go to the miscellaneous tab and you want to hit edit entries.ini, and then you want to update the weather to the conditions that the race began. So let's say it was 80 degrees and rain. You can do that. And then you want to type in that gun time that you wrote down out of the decoder. So it was 1550 58.154. Then you just have to exit and then save it. Next, you need to open up the actual chip timing system on your laptop, and it is going to be this red stopwatch logo, timing and scoring. So just double click it and let it load up. You want to hit start new event, and this could be named anything. I mean, it could honestly be named anything. And then just make sure bib tag is highlighted and hit OK. Same thing as in the other system. It has kind of like a tab system at the top. So I'm going to kind of walk you through each one on how to make sure that you can sync the device. So first, you want to hit the usage tab, and once this screen pops up, you want to go to the left hand side and you want to hit add allow rule. So you don't have to double click on it, just click on it, and then under contract ID type in 137, and then just make sure that the box beside of invoice 137 is clicked, because this is the company that we use to buy the timing chips, so they get invoiced. So then just hit save, OK, and OK, and then just close out of that. The next step is going to be the next tab, which is add location. Most of the time this is going to be finish, so I'm just going to walk you through a finish location. And the next step is going to be add device. So since you have it connected via that Ethernet cable, it's going to pop up. It's going to make that noise at the moment because I don't have any mats connected to it. It's just sitting here with no mats. So I'm just going to confirm all of that, and then once you get it connected, you want to hit this little blue box, and in your case you are going to always want to hit the middle one, start from new file. But in this video I'm going to hit the last one just so I can show you how to sync it with some data. So I'm going to begin it with file 9. I'm going to hit OK. So then, as you can see, we have a whole bunch of files, and in each file it's going to include specific chips that have passed over it. So in this file 9, you can see up at the top that it has 33 passes. That means that there are 33 times that somebody with a timing chip walked across the timing map. There are 31 unique codes. That means 2 people went over it twice, but the system knows to take the first time that it passed. So as you can see, bib 25, which is also chip 25, hit the mats at 9:06:26. Bib 1997 hit the mats at 9:08:33. This is going to be based on that GPS time, and so on all the way down. So next, you want to, once you add the device, you don't have to do anything with the athletes button. You want to hit the add exporter tab, and in that drop down menu you want to hit TCP IP. You want to make sure that this button is checked, and you want to make sure that you can get this number, which is 3097. It didn't load up quick enough. I mean, it loaded up too quick, but the number is 3097. So then in this, you want to go back to this system. You want to hit initialize external timers, same thing that we did with the TimeTech pull tag method, but this time you want it to be device MyLapse bib tag, that number 3097, finish, and then you want to make sure that this TCP box is checked. You can make sure that it is synced based on this line at the bottom that says run score at localhost. This means that it is connected and it is synced. So now all you have to do is hit this play button. I want to ignore these two. You want to hit the play button, and with your races you will always do the newest file, and you will hit play, because this is going to have all the new timing chips that pass over the mat play into the device. Since I do not have mats actually connected, I'm not going to do that, but you will want to hit this play button, and it's going to play the new files, the new timing chips into it. So let's say timing chip 1 crossed over the match just now and it is synced. Then you will go into the results, and the timing chip 1 will appear here with the time of day that they finished. But in this case, I'm going to just pull this data out. This is old data, so it's not going to actually be associated with this file, but this is just old data to show you what it looks like. So you will hit the play button, and what this is going to do is it's going to play all of these timing chips in time of day that they finished into the results, just like that. So that's, and it's going to automatically pop up. So if we have new people finishing, it's going to pop up automatically. As you can see, we have a lot of unknown bandits here, just because, like I said, this is old data. It's not going to match the race file itself. This is just going to show you how to sync it, which is what my point is of this video. And I'm going to go ahead and update this time of day just so I can show you that it actually matches. I mean, I guess I could, as you can see now, it would be 15. Yeah. So that's not, I need to change this time of day, because if it began at 15:00 something and ended at 9:06, it's going to be a negative time, so it's not going to count anything. So let's say that the race began at 08:58.154. So then the first person should finish in like 16-17 minutes. Which, as you can see, it does. 15:28. So all this gun time does is, this is the time of day that everyone began. So then as they finish, their time of day is put into the system. So it's going to do the time of day that they finished minus the time of day that the gun began, and that's how you get your official time. Hope that makes sense. That's all you have to do, though, with sync in the box, and then after the event you can just exit out, hit yes because you want to save the event. If not, it's a pain in the butt to load back up if you ever need to like check on something. So then just put it someplace that it's easily located, the desktop, and then hit save. And then you can pretty much exit out of this too. But that's how you sync the chip timing device into the timing system. So now that you have it all closed out, to just put the decoder box off, all you have to do is hit this power, and then you want to move it over to the yes, and then just hit that little button and it's going to put it off. But I'm going to kind of just walk you through some of the features of this. So if you hit this arrow button, it's going to kind of take you to a menu, and you have markers and files, timeline setup, general, communication, and log. This markers and files, you can hit and you can begin a new file at any time. So that's all that one is. Gunshot is how you get your new gunshot. Markers not needed. New file on gun is always going to be set to on, so you don't need to do that. And clear device is something I have to do. Timeline setup, profile, it's always going to be backup. Number of antennas is the number of mats that you have. So if you have full mats, you want to make sure that it's set to full, but you can also have 0 mats, 1, 2, 3, 4, just depending on how many you have set up at a specific location. Channel, you don't need. Beep is just going to show you the beep volume and the beep type, and that's all that one is. General is going to be clock, so this is going to have it set so that it is connected to GPS time. The name is the name of the box itself, and all this other stuff you won't use on a week-to-week basis. Communication is always going to be Ethernet, because it's always going to be connected via an Ethernet cable, and all this other stuff you don't need to know. Log, you don't need to know. So that's pretty much the only few things that you need to know with this, is that how to get to the new gun time screen, that it is always going to be set to backup, and that it is always going to be set to Ethernet. That's the only real things that you need to know about it. I can eventually show you how to clear out the box. That's something that I do currently, and it doesn't take long at all. So I'm just going to now put it off. So you want to hit this power button, and then hit yes. And that's all.